Hey, how are you?
Hello. Good. How are you? You were one step ahead of me. I was trying to click join and it said Jackson
Yeah, I'm
wants to
ready to
join. I
go.
was like, okay. Awesome. Well, I'm so excited that you agreed to be on here. So, just for everybody watching, I'm Hailey Parker. I'm a reporter and broadcaster for PackTV. And this is the fourth episode, I think, of the check in. And this week we have Jackson Webb of Men's Club Lacrosse. So, yeah, again, I'm super excited that you're here today. So, what have you been doing to stay
Uh,
busy during quarantine?
you know, not all that much. Gyms have been closed and all that, so I was planning on working out once I got home as much as I could, but that hasn't really been a thing. So I enrolled in some summer classes, and I've been doing that. I was actually supposed to go on a study abroad trip this June to Austria, and that obviously got canceled.
Oh,
So I just took the classes that I was supposed to take for that, and I've been doing that basically.
that's good. Looks like we've got a lot of comments going
Yeah,
on. You have
yeah.
some fans.
All my friends decided to hop in the live and support me.
I love that. Awesome. That's so nice. Okay, well, I have some. Probably one of the top 10. Oh, cool. I think we're so distracting. I love this. Okay, so I'm just going to
All
jump
right.
right into questions because I have some important things to ask you. So first, I just wanted to ask how you got into club lacrosse at NC State because
Yeah.
you're a rising sophomore, right? Okay, so you were like pretty new to the team. So what was it like coming to NC State, which is a like really big college, and then trying to find ways to get involved, and then
So
finding club
originally,
lacrosse?
actually, I started playing lacrosse pretty late, actually sophomore year of high school, and when I got to senior year, I got injured, broke my leg, wasn't able to play throughout
Oh
most of the
gosh,
season, and my coach, my high school coach, actually approached me and asked if he could reach out to colleges and talk to anyone, and I was like, sure, here are the places that I want to go. NC State was pretty much at the top of the list, and he reached out to the coach of the club lacrosse team. I got into contact with him, and throughout that summer, we just emailed back and forth. And I found out basically before coming into orientation about the club lacrosse team. And then as soon as Packpalooza started, I met some of the older guys on the team, and from there, tried out, made it, and ever since then, been playing.
that's awesome. Well, that I was gonna ask if you played high school or played lacrosse in high school, and I need to stop reading these comments. They're too funny. I was gonna ask if you played lacrosse in high school. So you started just sophomore year. Did you
Yeah.
play any
So
sports
before that, I
before
played
then?
baseball and I wrestled, and it's actually a funny story. So after freshman year, I didn't want to play baseball anymore. I just got bored of it, and one of my friends was like, "Oh, you should play lacrosse," and he convinced me. All of my friends are playing it. I was like, "Might as well give it a shot." And the first day of practice in the spring, the senior who played the position that I played, Faceoff, he came over to the junior varsity section of practice and was like, "Who's the kid who wrestled?" And everyone pointed directly at me. And apparently, there was some correlation between wrestling and the position that I play now. And ever since then, I've just been hooked. Love the game. Never really got burnt out because I started so late, which was nice. So
That's awesome. So, you kind of just mentioned it, but I was doing my research, and your position name is called
right.
Faceoff Specialist, which I I know sports, but I don't really
Mm-hmm.
know club lacrosse or club lacrosse at all. So, I mean, that sounds like a pretty important
Yeah.
position. So, do you mind like talking about like what
So the way the
that entails?
face-off works is at the beginning of the game and the beginning of every quarter, and after every goal is scored, two guys go out to the middle of the field at midfield and line up right next to each other. A ball is placed down, and then they fight for possession. And it's one of the most important positions in lacrosse because momentum and possession is key, and you can swing the tides of games, stop runs, and all kinds of things. You're really able to do a lot, and it's very specialized. There are like entire companies that are made to just to basically train kids to go to the next level and be face-off guys.
So, is there only one Faceoff
Yeah,
specialist per team, or
so
like
we
just
had
men club
three this
lacrosse?
year. There was a junior and two freshmen, including me. Um, and we alternated, just going back and forth between us, because you get really burnt out quick throughout the game. Because it's like
Yeah.
the intensity of it, it's a very short process. You basically have 15 seconds where you're on the field, win or lose, and then you get off. But those 15 seconds, you're putting like all of your effort into getting that ball and getting it down the field or running back on defense, whatever it be.
Okay. Well, that's interesting because again, I don't um, again, I don't know a lot about lacrosse, so I'm not sure how many other people do also. But so my next question was, what does a normal practice look like for men's club lacrosse, and how often do
So
you
in the
guys
fall, we
practice?
practice twice a week on Mondays and Wednesdays, and in the spring, we practice on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Usually, the practices in the fall are more instructional, like here are the fundamentals, let's work on them, improve them, and we'll have like a scrimmage on one of the days just to build some team chemistry and get a feel for how the defense and offense interacts. It's pretty much the same in the spring, but it's a little more intense, obviously, because that's our actual playing season. Um, we also do some film during the spring to get ready for games if we have them, and that's that's basically how it works. It's not too intricate. It's pretty easy.
Well, I was gonna ask, like, if you had a hard time balancing that in school, but it sounds like in the fall maybe that wasn't so much like a problem. But in the spring, when you guys start having games, was it difficult to
It
kind of
was a
like
little
try and
difficult.
balance that?
It definitely was easier in the fall because we didn't travel as much. In the spring, before our season got canceled, we took two trips, one to Knoxville, Tennessee, and then one to Columbia, South Carolina. And, you know, those long bus rides are actually pretty good for getting your stuff done. And if you know how to
Yeah.
manage your time well, it's not too difficult, but it's definitely not the same as being able to go to the library on a Saturday and study.
Right. Yeah. So next I want to talk about this season. I'm so funny. Okay. I want to talk about this season because obviously it got cut short due to COVID, but before that, y'all's record was 4-3. So, what were your initial feelings about the season being cut short? Because it was your first year
I
playing.
was pretty shocked actually, because it happened so fast.
Yeah.
Even from the top levels of college lacrosse,
Mm-hmm.
it started in the Ivy League. They canceled their season entirely, and then within I think 48 hours, just about every other conference canceled, and then that fell back onto club lacrosse where we canceled about a week later, and it was shocking to say the least. Thankfully, we didn't have any seniors who were graduating this year, so it wasn't really that much of a gut shot. But I felt like we were swinging into the right direction with the season, so having it cut short was pretty tragic. Our chemistry was starting to build. The guys were starting to really get a feel for how the team would work, and it started to really feel like a team that could go somewhere. And to have that taken away from you is just, it's gut wrenching.
Yeah, I bet. I was going to ask how the rest of the team reacted, but I didn't know that y'all didn't have any graduating seniors, so that's good. But I'm guessing, did the rest of your
Yeah,
teammates react the same way
I
that you
remember our
did?
group chat actually. So I was in Raleigh for part of spring break when it was officially canceled after they extended our spring break
Mm-hmm.
for a week. And our entire group chat was just blowing up like we couldn't believe this was happening. This is insane. And it slowly dawned on us that this was like actually gonna go through and we weren't gonna have the rest of our season. And it was tough. It was a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, I bet. I know that if I were in y'all's position, that would be really tough. If the season had continued, and like you said, you were feeling pretty confident, everyone was feeling pretty confident as a team. Did y'all have any goals set, like as a team, if the
Yeah,
year had
so one of
continued?
our main goals was to beat both ECU and Clemson. And if we had done that, we would have made it into the playoffs. That was a main goal of ours. But you always, as a team, want to get better. That's always a goal. So we were working hard just to improve in any way we could, improve the team atmosphere, improve our actual playing abilities, whatever it may be. We just wanted to be better versions of ourselves. And to have that process cut short was really rough.
Well, it's good that y'all didn't have any graduating seniors because because, because next year, I mean, it'll be relatively the same team. You'll guys, but you can still maybe go off
Right.
of what you had this year, so that'll be good. So I think I'm
Yeah.
right. You're the
I am.
vice president, right? Okay, so that's pretty awesome considering that you were just a freshman, now becoming a sophomore. So do you see yourself having any other like leadership roles in the future, maybe becoming
I mean,
president or
obviously
anything like
one can
that?
hope. I would love to. I love helping where I can and whenever I can. And being a president would obviously give me more
Yeah.
avenues to do what needs to be done to help the team. But
Mm-hmm.
I can't really count on it yet. The president right now is only a year older than me. He's doing a great job. And at this point, I'm just bought into the team mentality of whatever needs to be done. I'm going to try to help do it.
That's awesome. Well, I would say congratulations, but you've already done that for a
Yeah.
year, but that's like pretty awesome considering that you're relatively new to the team. So lastly, I just had one more question. I have, like working at PackTV, I cover a lot of y'all's games and stuff, and I really enjoy watching lacrosse, even though I may not like understand a lot of it. It's entertaining. Y'all are really competitive. So I don't know if you know the answer to this question, but I've always wondered, why do you think men's club lacrosse is a club sport and not a varsity sport at
So
NC State?
funnily enough, we actually did have a very good team in the 80s. Um, we were doing well. We were playing UNC and Duke back in the 80s, and then our team disbanded, and a bunch of the players actually went to Syracuse University and won a national championship there only a few years after our team dissipated. I'm not really I don't know the answer to it. I think it's just a funding thing. Lacrosse is a very expensive sport,
That's what.
but I do
Yeah.
think that it is a great opportunity for NC State because of the rich history that both UNC and Duke have in lacrosse and just how much it's growing in the triangle and across North Carolina. And,
Yeah.
NC State being, I think it is the biggest university in North Carolina, just the pool of talent that we could get for a lacrosse team with the growing uh, community that is in North Carolina, it would be a great opportunity for NC State in the future.
Yeah.
It Even if it doesn't happen in my time at NC State, I would love to see a varsity lacrosse team at NC State once again, um, and it would just be great to see.
Yeah, I agree. Well, even if that doesn't happen, I know that myself and along with a lot of other people really enjoy watching club lacrosse, because you guys really are fun to watch, and I enjoy coming out watching those games. But our
Yeah,
comments are still going strong. But I'm sorry, that's all that I have for today. But thank you so much for joining me and agreeing to come on here for
of
this
course.
episode of the Check-In. Of course. All right. Well, I will see you later. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. All 9 of you for commenting, keeping us entertained. And good luck next year.
Yep.
Hopefully,
Thank
we'll
you.
talk again soon.
Bye.
All right. Bye.